In the VTuber and art drama world, we have a case of somebody who was selling their model and things have happened. All of this starts with Twitter user Sakeru VT, who goes by Sakeru, who is making this post. And they write, I am so upset right now. I was selling my old model to someone. They had already made a partial payment, but I needed it to pay bills, so I used it. They then came to me later asking for a refund. I informed them on the situation and gave me three options: refunding when the model sold, giving them the model for the amount they already paid, holding her until they were able to finish paying. I thought we had come to an agreement on me holding onto the model until she was done with family stuff, and then she would let me know. Well, today I got a notice that she filed a chargeback and said she lost access to her Twitter, but yet could see me buying stuff. She has proceeded to block me, and so I can't even reach out to figure out what's going on. So here, as you can see in Sakeru's PayPal, they have a negative balance of negative $771.51. And this is what the PayPal dispute said. This is from the other VTuber, and they write, lost access to my Twitter or X account, and I am no longer able to contact this seller. Last we spoke, I requested a refund, and the seller said she can't because she has no money in her bank account. Yet she is buying other items publicly. I have not paid the full price, and I did not receive anything since January 5th, so I would like a full refund for this. I was not provided a download link, nor any products were provided to me for the amount paid. And then here you can see a message that Sakeru sent that was not received, likely because they were blocked. Like here you can see that little exclamation mark. And the message reads, I thought we came to an agreement. I gave you multiple options and you said you were okay with waiting until your family stuff was dealt with. Sakeru continues, part 2. I screenshotted our entire convo and put it in the case file, but I'm currently negative almost $800 and I don't know what to do. So here are the DMs between Sakeru and Ari being the other VTuber. And disclaimer again, I just want to say, please don't send hate to any parties involved. So Sakeru said, hi love, I saw your post about your dad. I hope everything goes okay. Do you want me to put her on hold until you know if you want to continue buying her? And this is Saturday, January 11th. Ari says, hey, and thank you for that. I'm a bit all over the place right now. As for the model, no. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I will be without my PC for a while, 2 months or more, so I will need to refund the purchase. I'm sorry and thank you again for the opportunity. It really was a dream of mine to start streaming with a beautiful model such as Saki Yosa. And Sakeru says, unfortunately, I stated in the terms when I sent the invoice that there was no refunds. And Ari says, can you screenshot the terms? I looked through my email and it only shows the invoice. And here the screenshot was sent and you can see seller's terms and conditions, must credit original artist, sales final, no refunds. Please give her a good home. And Ari says, yes, but the full amount has not been paid and the model is not received. This is for an emergency, so I hope you can understand. And Sakeru says, I do understand, but unfortunately I need the money to pay bills, so I used it when you sent it. I won't be able to refund until somebody buys the model. So I can either do two things, send you the model file or have you wait until she sells to refund. And Ari says, I'm sorry about this, I'm a bit everywhere. And Sakeru says, I understand and I'm willing to work with you however I can. I just can't refund the money right away. And Ari says, thank you for working with me on this. I understand as well and I'll find a solution as well on my end. And Sakeru responds, if you still want her, I don't mind, and I'll wait however long needed for you to finish the payments. If that doesn't work, I can give her to you now for the payment you already sent. Otherwise, the refund wouldn't be able to be sent until she sells, which has no time frame right now. Also, wait, I'm like a little confused right now because here Sakeru says, if that doesn't work, I can give her to you now for the payment you already sent. And Ari says, thank you. That's one of the nicest gestures ever, and I couldn't be more grateful. Heart. I leave tomorrow, so I won't be able to use her, unfortunately. I know it's already asking a lot for you to put her on hold until I get back, so I accepted that she would be sold to another buyer. Will it still be okay to message you once in a while just to check in? I'd love to finish payments once I get back to the US. And if not, that's okay as well. I know you have bills to pay and I never wish on anyone to be late on anything. I'm sorry again for all of this. And Sakeru says, I have no problems holding her until you get back. Don't even fret it. She's yours if you still want her and I'll wait. I'm in no rush at all. And Ari says, I would love and cherish her. Thank you so much. Sakeru says, of course. Focus on your dad and family, and when you get back, just shoot me a message. This account or new account is totally fine. You can even message me randomly too, not a problem. And Ari heart reacted to it. And then Ari says, I won't lie to you, this made my night. I'm crying tears of joy and I'll definitely message more often, not only for model purposes. And Sakeru says, oh, I'm glad I could help a little bit. And then Sakeru wrote, Part 3, I'm literally flabbergasted. Like, I was willing to work with her and everything. I felt I was so nice and literally offered her the model for the $800 she had paid. I'm praying that PayPal falls in my favor because what the actual fuck. And then Sakeru linked their Twitter page, dropping their Twitter handle. And here's what some commenters had to say. Fuwa, I hope I read that right, says, how do they know you're buying stuff publicly, yet they lost access to their account? I'm so sorry this is happening. I would tell PayPal that you guys had an agreement with screenshots and how you can't contact her because she blocked you. And Sakira says that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out. I screenshotted everything and I gave it to PayPal. She's proceeded to delete her Twitter or something. And Dreamy Leah VT writes, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Maybe with your message history, you could dispute the chargeback on your account. I know that if there's proof of contact from their end and they agree to a plan with you, it can possibly reverse the chargeback. And Sakira says that's what I'm hoping. I've got everything up on PayPal, so now all I can do is wait. Black Dumpling 58 writes, how is the buyer in the wrong here? Because they got their money back before they received the item in question. Was there any form of contract? A percentage-based non-refundable deposit? If the seller accepts partial payment and then doesn't deliver the goods or services because there's no further payment, doesn't mean the seller just gets to keep the other person's money indefinitely. Person 1, quote, I made the first payment of $100 on the car, end quote. Person 2, did you ever receive the car? Person 1, no, I realized I couldn't afford it and asked for my money back. Person 2, well, that means I just get to keep your money. And then other people have a sentiment on the other side as well. Concept Raps writes, it's an effed up situation, but you're the one who effed up. Why would you spend the deposit? This highlights a way bigger issue, which is non-contracted internet commerce. It's the easiest way to lose money and get scammed. I've paid thousands for deposits and shit I'll never get back. I actually don't have PayPal right now because somebody did a chargeback for a pack they received. But yeah, the situation is 10,000% your fault. I would say personally, in terms of where fault lies, quote unquote, it's a really, really unfortunate situation all around where both parties lose out. You know what I mean? Like, here you have a situation where somebody sold their model, they were in need of the money to pay bills. So when they received the first payment for it, they spent it on bills. Because, of course, I want you to pay your bills, right? I don't want you to be living with no water, no internet, and lights off in your house because you couldn't afford to pay the electricity bill. But on the flip side of the coin, the buyer is also in what sounds like a really similar position, kind of. They, at the time, like where in the moment when they bought the model, they had free money to spend on the model, you know, the couple grand or however much it was. And then due to really unfortunate family situations of people passing away, things like that, you know, when family members pass away, it does cost a fair amount of money to host a funeral, things like that. It's again a really unfortunate situation that nobody can predict. And when that happens, you suddenly realize, wait, I am a little short on money probably. What are some unnecessary things that I've bought that maybe I could return, refund, etc. so I can get some money back and make ends meet because of this unfortunate situation that happened. I do feel like from Sakeru's perspective, being completely blindsided with a chargeback when you thought that the other person was completely down to take the model from all the DMs, the communications, whatever, like that must be extremely frustrating, and it screws over Sakeru as well, right? Because it puts them in this awkward position financially too. It's just unfortunate on both sides for both parties. The biggest thing that I would definitely say when it comes to internet purchases at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to say this to fault the person who sold the model, right? But if you can, please, for the love of God, when you sell digital things on the internet, please, if you can, do not spend the money until the transaction, everything has been completed. Because you can end up in a scenario like this, right? Where somebody has paid partially for a product you've promised to deliver them. So in this case, right, you're selling your VTuber model, somebody paid partially for it. And legally, the way it works is they can legally charge it back through PayPal, which is how PayPal works, if they didn't receive the product, right? So because Ari didn't receive the VTuber model, according to PayPal, can charge back and PayPal will side with them. That's just how it's gonna work. So for that reason, I really don't recommend you spend the money from purchases, sales, etc. until it's been completely completed, as in they paid you everything and then you sent them the product. Once that happens, then you as the seller are legally in the right that if they were to charge you back, the PayPal will side with you. So just for safety reasons, that's why I don't recommend this. Again, there's always fringe scenarios, right? Like if you really need the money, you're like, shoot, I have bills to pay, this is gonna happen, etc. Like I need the money. It's just unfortunate at the end of the day. But if you are in a position where you know, you can choose to spend the money or to choose to not spend the money, I really recommend not spending it because PayPal will not side with you. And that's just not fair, but it is how it plays out. But I definitely don't think it's fair for the VTuber, for the other VTuber, Ari, to kind of like pull this 180 with PayPal being like, I have not paid the full price and I didn't receive anything. Like, it sounds like the agreement was the full price is X amount, hypothetically $2,000, and you are going to make partial payments until you got the full amount. Like you paid up to the 2K, then you would get the model. You know what I mean? Like it does feel very disingenuous for them to kind of be like, hey, I paid money and didn't get anything when the agreement was you weren't gonna get anything until you paid all of it. At the end of the day, when it comes to something like a VTuber model, it is really an all or nothing sale. You can't get half a VTuber model. Like, what's the camera supposed to give you, right? Like a PNG tuber? Because when you sell a VTuber model, you're not just selling artwork, but you're selling the identity of the model itself, right? Like you're selling the identity of this Sakura model that you're giving to somebody else. The identity is an all or nothing. You either own the identity or you don't own it. So other VTubers in the past have done something kind of similar, something where you pay a certain amount, like you pay half of it, and they would give you the artwork in a Google folder that's watermarked. So you don't get access to the non-watermarked artwork until you get all the payments. So it's kind of a transactional way to give the buyer something so that when this happens with PayPal, you could be like, yeah, but I gave them stuff, you know, like this was given to them, so that when it comes to this PayPal dispute, PayPal will side with you. At the end of the day, I really do wish both parties well. I feel really bad for the VTuber who was really excited to become a VTuber and then encountered all this family stuff that put a wrench in their plans. And same way for Sakeru as well, you know, they needed the money, they sold their model, and then the person they sold their model to seemed really enthusiastic about it, and then out of the blue pulled a straight 180 and was like, "Yeah, I didn't get anything. PayPal gave me the money back." You know, like no warning, nothing. That blindsiding is so unfair, and it's so unfortunate for both parties. Sorry, I know I look a little bit different, but just wanted to add in this update. This was a tweet that Sakeru made, and this was today, February 10th. Sakeru writes, "And why not hit it with the cherry on top? They went in her favor. I just can't." And it reads, your buyer has been refunded. We've closed the case in the buyer's favor after receiving the info available to us. The refund amount of $800 has been withdrawn, and we've charged you a dispute fee of $30 since your account was categorized into high volume dispute fee tier. Amy Bloom comments, please don't let this all overwhelm you. There are other payment methods that are supported in popular pages like Coffee and VGen. You will be okay. Rest and pamper yourself like you deserve. You have a community that loves you. And Sakeru says, can I use VGen without a payout account because I'm not verified? Nighty Nico says, they won't be getting the model right. And Sakeru says, oh, hell no. And Smalls says, I am so sorry you had to go through that. That's why I'm scared to sell my own model because I'm nervous somebody will refund it. And Sakeru says, that is so valid. I'm scared to do anything at this point because PayPal just permanently blocked my account. Which, like, getting permanently blocked over this on PayPal is absolutely crazy. That is so overkill over this whole situation, in my opinion. I hope they can all recover and be well from this situation at the end of the day. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Again, I hope you guys are liking the rename, the rebrand to the Cat and Chat. Again, I managed to get the Cat Liante handle. It did not go away. I grabbed it. It's just on an alternate YouTube channel now, and I'm going to be posting news, educational content there soon, so expect to see that. But again, I have an Etsy where I sell digital art and goods, and I have a Coffee where I have free resources there, and I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.